it's up to us to decide the things that we value and the ethics that we want to support and how we want to grow our food and where we want to see it go. All of those things can be nebulous, they can be tricky, they can be disorienting, but in the end, I believe that it's all going to be worth it. And I think that here in Hillsborough, we have the people and the power and the resources and the talent to get it all done. It's just going to take an intentional and deliberate act. So my name is Petrella, and I am the Food System Program Coordinator for Hillsborough County. This is literally my dream job. I get to work with all kinds of organizations, and all of us are in this space, and the goal is to create this designated area where we can come together and collaborate. I love working with people. I do think that people are good and that we are stronger together, and that having strong community and strong social capital improves the quality of life for everybody. Food also is something that everybody experiences. You know, maybe not everybody owns a home or has space to do projects or is interested in art or any of these other things that are, you know, good for you and good for community, but everybody eats. And so it can be one of these unifying factors as well. At the same time that produce is becoming more expensive for us, farmers are getting paid less. But when you start hearing those things, you really just start like, well, where's that money going? And this last year, especially in the pandemic, a lot of these companies had record-breaking profits because everyone was at home going out and shopping, and we don't have any control over it. I can't, if I go and I want to make guacamole and I go and I pick up this avocado and say, this is $5, and I put it back, I don't have another option. I can't go to my avocado tree. And so then you're kind of like held hostage to this industrial food system, which is very good at reliably putting food on shelves throughout the nation. And for our community food system, we're definitely not there yet. And I don't like to think of the community food system being competitors against the industrial food system. The way that I like to talk about the community food system is that you can imagine a box, and this is 100% of our food that everyone's eating. The industrial food system in this moment probably covers 99% of it. But there's still that 1%. And it's actually not 99%. We know that a quarter of children are food insecure. So let's say, 75% of the people are being supplied and supported by this industrial food system. It's working very well for them. But there's still people that it's not. And that's our job.
So my name is Lena Young-Green. I am the founder of the Tampa Heights Junior Civic Association, which is an outgrowth of our Senior Civic Association. Our organization focuses mainly on children, and more specifically on families and children that are at risk and need support in our neighborhood. Over about 25 years ago, we decided in Tampa Heights that we needed to develop a community plan. That was a neighborhood plan. That was the first neighborhood plan ever developed in the city of Tampa. Took us 4 years. Through that process of 4 years, one of the things that came out was that residents wanted gardens. Gardens was going to serve as a part of improving our community and developing our community. 12 years ago, we were able to connect with Kitty. She was like, I have my shovel and I have my seeds in my car. I'm ready to dig into the earth. One of the things that we did not put in the plan was to what extent community gardens would actually bring the community together. We did not know that.
Hi, I'm Kitty Wallace. I'm a retired educator, and I'm fortunate enough to have connected with the Tampa Heights Junior Civic Association so I can continue being an educator, which in the core of my being, I apparently am. So I get to see kids weekly and bring them over to the Tampa Heights Community Garden, and we garden together, and we learn about healthy eating habits, and we learn about healthy lifestyles, and we learn about growing and tending and harvesting and being responsible. Initially, we were eating things in the garden just by the piece. Now we go to the garden, and the first kid that thinks of it says, so, Miss Kitty, what are we going to eat in the garden today? So they figured all the ground rules out, and they're ready to eat.
We truly believe that the avenue to changing tomorrow is working with our children today. If children don't understand that they have some power, that a seed can take them somewhere, then they feel helpless. And when you feel helpless, you do things that helpless people do. So for the children to learn the technology and the platform for getting from here in the soil, growing, to actually having a business where they could make money to cover the rent and the utilities, that's important. And children really grasp things. And for them to understand that this is how we get to that place is really, really a great component. So I see that marrying of all of the pieces as really important to actually taking them to that next level.
The hierarchy of needs has food, water, and shelter at the bottom, and then the rest of that is continuing to build. And so that foundation is really important, and building community, building trust, and then at the top of it is self-actualization. And a lot of times that's where innovation and entrepreneurship come from. But if you don't have those solid foundations, then how can you ever get to that top level? And so I think as a community, investments in the community food system, making sure that everyone has adequate nutrition, that they're comfortable preparing meals, and that's also fun too. There's so much joy that can come from that. And so I really just think that making sure that foundation is taken care of is just a no-brainer. I think that it makes sense from an economic point of view, from a quality life point of view, definitely from a community development point of view. Think of all the times you've shared meals with your friends or gone to a potluck or picnic, or, it's such a unifying and binding thing. And I think that the world would be better if we had more time where everybody was able to create community, and almost always there is a emphasis on food. I think that we're at a place now, especially with the pandemic, and then even before that, we have to have hard conversations about what the future of agriculture looks like. Just days ago, the latest IPCC report was published, which just said, we're running out of time to get climate change under control. And agriculture has a huge impact on that.
I think the thing that really caused a lot of people to take notice was when the entire food system fell apart for a period of time at the beginning of COVID, when our agricultural workers were sick. They couldn't go to the field and harvest the food. When the truck drivers were sick, they couldn't take the food from the field to the grocery stores. And without that shaking up, it's very easy for us in the city to just go to a grocery store or even a fresh market and pick up pretty much anything you need. And you have to stop now and say, this whole system is built on, layers that each one could fall apart and would have such an impact that there would not be food in the grocery store. So independently growing our own food becomes something that people, I think, would just naturally turn to.
Go and find some community group, whether that's a community garden or a nonprofit, and commit to yourself and commit to them just a few hours a month. It does not need to be overwhelming, but it does take work. It all takes work. Ask the people who are already doing the work what you can do to help. If we all chipped in $5 to our favorite organization or 2 hours a month, then we would see substantial change very quickly. The way to get involved is just to kind of show up and then just keep showing up. I think there's a lot of power and hope in that space. All those pieces are out there. How can we unite them and then amplify them is the question. And Hillsborough County, we have so many people, we have so many businesses, we have so much opportunity that we can solve this, and I think we will.